Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. I got to fangirl over this girl not too long ago. Kylie Frey is on with me. Hey, Kylie.
Hey, girl. How are you?
I'm good. I am, I kind of got to rewind for everybody. We were at the award show a couple weeks ago, and somebody that represents you came up to me, and they were like, do you want to meet Kylie Frey? And I'm like, no. Because I'll fangirl and I'll look stupid.
That's amazing. No, I loved meeting you, and I loved getting to meet you and, getting to chat and then see you win your award and feel that with you. It was a really cool night, and I was so happy for you, and I was so glad that I got to be there and present and perform, and it was just an all-around good time.
So that's another thing I needed to point out is, I looked at the video after winning the personality award. You were on that stage, and I had blinders on, and I'm looking at the video, and I'm like, what a jerk. I just hugged David Adam Burns and Jack Cook and just walked past Kylie Frey.
No, I think what happened is I was supposed to be on the stage, but I wasn't on the stage because I'm never where I'm supposed to be, LOL. and so you were winning your award, and they're like, you need to get up there because you're presenting the next one. And I'm like, okay. Yes, it was a lot going on. But
Got you.
You deserve to just feel your moment and be in your moment. I hope I wasn't distracting.
Well, speaking of being in the moment and speaking of that award show, I got to get the behind-the-scenes performance of your brand new single called Horses in Heaven, which was extremely powerful and emotional, and it's beautiful. And you've now released it to radio with the help of Randy Houser. So, first off, tell everybody about this single because I love this story. It is one of my favorite stories.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's my story, and I lost my grandpa, and most people know this, but I grew up tying goats and roping calves, and I was a rodeo girl. That's really all I did. Me and my sister growing up, we didn't play your regular sports. We were at a rodeo every weekend, and really that's what led me into singing and writing songs. And so I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for the way that I grew up, and I would have never have grown up in that way of life if it wasn't for my grandpa. And so he had a big impact on my life. I was his favorite, he told me. And so when we lost him, I took it really hard, and this song just kind of came out of nowhere with me and one of my really good friends. His name is Stone, and we sat in his living room, and I had a box of tissues, and we did it. We wrote it really fast, and it was just one of those songs that just kind of fell out of the sky, and it took me a while to actually record it and release it just because, the way my journey has been so far. But I ended up putting it out on this EP that I put out this past year, and we've put a couple singles out from that EP, and I wasn't sure it was between that song and the title track of my EP, Rodeo Queen. It was between those two to figure out which song would be the next single, right? And the more we kept talking about it, the more it kind of felt like it was Horses in Heaven. And my goal with me and my grandpa, we sort of made a pact when I was a little girl that I would sing the national anthem at the NFR one day. And I have tried and tried and tried since I was about 8 years old to do this, and I have never gotten the opportunity. I got close. I was a flag girl at the NFR for a couple of years, and one year, okay, this is a great story. One year, I was asked to be the backup anthem singer because Brooks and Dunn was going to be running late, and if they didn't make it on time, then I was going to be it. And so, we changed up our routines and everything for me to be able to potentially sing the anthem, and they ended up rolling in at the very last minute and singing the anthem, but I got really close.
Did you at least get to meet Brooks and Dunn? Because that would make my whole life. What?
I did not. No, they rolled in there and they did their thing, and it was all very fast. And then I had to go change outfits and get on a horse because I had to go do my job. It was a whole thing. Yeah. So, I didn't get my moment, but this year rolled around, 2020, and I wasn't even expecting to get an anthem this year. I was like, it's been a crazy year. It's not even in Vegas. I'm not even going to try this year because everyone's probably a bit overwhelmed and I don't want to bug anyone. And we'll just it's fine. Well, I won't even try. And of course, that's when it happened. And I got the call to sing an anthem at the NFR. And so I have lots of stories of how my grandpa sort of intertwines in all of these things. But the biggest one is I was supposed to sing on the night that Cody Johnson sang Dear Rodeo. And it was going to be a whole big thing and whatever. I was pumped. And then they called back a week later and they're like, hey, so we had to switch up our plans and we need you on a different night. And I was like, that's fine. As long as I get to do this, like, this is my dream. Like, put me on whichever night you need me, I'm there.
Right.
And so I didn't even know what the opening was going to be for that night. I just knew that I was singing. And it turns out I was on the night that Randy Houser did Johnny Cash's Old Rugged Flag. And I didn't even know that he was going to be there. And I rolled up for my sound check and met him and got to hang out with him. And, he did his thing. I did my thing. And he was very complimentary about my singing and was asking me about my story. And I told him how important that, the thing that I just did was to me and my grandpa. And he was just thought it was so cool. And he was like, I have a similar, upbringing with my grandpa. And so we just kind of connected on that way. And I told him about the song and not thinking anything. And he went and listened to it and asked to sing on it. And so that is what you hear on this new single with Randy Houser. Plus, it gets weirder because it turns out that Old Rugged Flag was my grandpa's favorite rodeo opener. And he would get mad at my aunt when she wouldn't play it.
Oh, wow.
Before her rodeos. And so, yes. Isn't that crazy?
This is so meant to be all the things. Like, so
all
many things meant to be.
All the things.
Yep. Wow. And honestly, I can't think of anybody that would be more deserving of that than you, though.
Oh, thank you.
Because you do. You've got this bright and shiny heart and this insane amount of talent that cannot go unnoticed. I would smack somebody if they were talking during a Kylie Frey performance. Like, you don't do that. And like, for that to come your way, and you've now made a new friend out of that process too. Somebody who works in the same industry as you, but not the same, because Randy Houser's not Texas country. It's a different thing. And you guys have something you can connect on, and that is so special to have amongst music people.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love all the things. And now you've got my heart about ready to burst, but now I got to play this song for everybody as well, and that's going to make their heart burst. So my apologies ahead of time. Grab your tissues. This is Kylie Frey and Horses in Heaven.
Grandpa taught me how to ride on a buckskin mare when I was 5. He told me the way of life was in my blood. And I learned the ropes, how to hold the reins. When I got thrown, had to hide the pain. He'd give me the eye, and I'd get back up. And these days, I don't know if he's rounding up a herd of cattle or going for raid in his old bronc saddle or teaching a young buck a hard-learned, well-earned lesson. I don't know if he's roaming around just to pass the time somewhere up there on the other side, checking a fence line just as the sun is setting. sure that he's riding horses in heaven. Stubborn, strong, thicker skin. I'm who I am 'cause of him. Teaching this girl all that cowboy stuff. And you may say, may he rest in peace, but he ain't resting if you ask me. If I know him, he's up there kicking up dust. I don't know if he's rounding up a herd of cattle, or going for raid in his old bronc saddle, or teaching a young buck a hard-learned, well-earned lesson. I don't know if he's roaming around just to pass the time somewhere up there on the other side, checking a fence line just as the sun is setting. But y'all, I'm sure that he's riding horses in heaven. Well, I think the angels must have wanted a helping hand, and they needed a cowboy, not just any man. I don't know if he's rounding up a herd of cattle, or going for raid in his old bronc saddle, or teaching a young buck a hard-learned, well-earned lesson. I don't know if he's roaming around just to pass the time somewhere up there on the other side, checking a fence line just as the sun is setting. But y'all, I'm sure that he's riding horses in heaven. Grandpa taught me how to ride on a buckskin mare when I was 5. He told me the way of life was in my blood.
Maverick 100.9, you just heard it here first. That was the latest single from Kylie Frey and Horses in Heaven. I've got the extraordinary Kylie Frey on with me now. And what's it like? I know you struggled with deciding what single to put out to radio. You've had several number ones in a row now, which is beyond worth applause. I mean, my goodness, you are
Thank you.
tearing it up. And then you release a ballad. What does that feel like to you? Do you feel like it's a turning point?
It feels really good. I've always known that this song was special, and I've sort of made a statement with these last couple of songs with my up tempos that I love so much. And it was nice to put out these fun and fast songs, especially in 2020 when I feel like everyone just needed it. I needed it, you know? So it's nice to finally to put out this little piece of my heart that's like, okay, so I showed you this fun side of me, like, let's get serious for a minute. And then I'll get fun again because I can't wait for you to hear what we're going to put out next.
Yes, same here. Like, you got to keep me updated all the time. Because
Absolutely.
I'm dying for more already, but congratulations on your latest single.
It's going to be a sassy song next, I can guarantee you.
Oh, like I would be into sassy songs?
Like, I know that's not really your thing, but, you know.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, before Kylie starts calling me out too much, thank you so much for joining me on Maverick. I hope everybody goes out and gets your latest EP because it's extraordinary, and I can't wait for them to start hearing Horses in Heaven here regularly on Maverick. Thank you so much, Kylie.
Awesome. Thank you, Corliss.